Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to your yet again most wonderful podcast. This is Power Loop Podcast. And as usual, with me again is our beautiful co host.
Steve, stop this thing. Stop it.
She said, my melanin popping the other time. Mayowa, you're welcome.
Thank you once again.
Mm,
Welcome to PAL Podcast. And it's so nice doing something like this,
Yes.
actually.
it's so nice seeing you again.
Thank
Have you been?
I'm fine.
It's a wonderful week, yeah?
Of course. Yes.
It
It's
wasn't
not
fast.
like last week. No, it's fine.
We're very good for that.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching this, this is your number one podcast, the Power Loop podcast, where you get educative information, mostly about trending news and what is going on in your country. And this is also where you get updates, especially when it comes to tipping up your finance, getting an edge in your life. So stay tuned, stay interested, and at the end of this video, you will know why we asked you to stay because you're going to get really engaged with beautiful information that will change a lot in your life. Welcome once more. My name is Steve. All right, Maiwa.
My phone now.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
What-
still in the whole election, the whole Nigeria topic. There's still, I said it last week and last when we said the conversation.
Yeah.
I was like, this topic can never end.
Yeah.
No way, we will have to bring up new topics, bring up discussion that's actually affecting Nigerians and not just Nigerians, people around us,
Yeah.
both other countries.
Yeah. African
So, yeah.
continent.
So I was thinking, and it's something that is amongst us, it's something that we have seen and something that happens every time election takes place. So the question is, why is it that every Nigerian actually have or has expectations after every election? Because no matter what, we continue saying we want change, we want
Yeah.
change. Okay, when you're going to become the president, you say you're going to do this. Okay, we hope on you.
Mhm.
You're going to do this for us. So why do you think that we as Nigerians we have this high expectation
For
that
election.
after this election there will be
It's gonna be
massive
better.
change and all? So why do you think we think like that?
Well, I have, do I say, an illustration for that.
Okay.
Let's say that, let's use an example with a couple who are pregnant. You know, during uh, the during the marriage, you know, uh, there is and the couple the family is considered like a marriage, yeah. And during the marriage, there is expectation of children, yeah. So the expectation of the child that is supposed to come to this probably young married couple. Now, when this couple are married, they expect a child.
Yeah.
And let's say she gets pregnant. Eh? She gets pregnant, and I like to use the word they both get pregnant. And when they get pregnant, there is this expectation of delivery
Yeah.
that would come as a result of the pregnancy. The pregnancy is also a period of trouble, turmoil, and then the birth of that child is the expectation. So Nigeria can be likened to such situation. We are actually married to the government and to its policies, to a lot of things, and the expectation is a good government, you know. Now and then the period where we are facing this economic turmoil and hardship is likened to the waiting period of that. You know,
It's
this
alright.
is just an illustration.
It's alright. The waiting
So
period.
there's always an expectation for something when it comes to new the delivery. So an election point period is the labor point where people are now expecting or more, you know, we're expecting that baby to come out.
So
You know,
Nigerians now heavily
now
pregnant.
this is where we choose the gender. You know, we're expecting. So if you've not gone for your, there's just so many. You know, but definitely we are truly. But there's something we also need to understand here. Participation in trying to in the government in those periods where there is turmoil is very it's also as imperative as also the election period. So, but we find out that most of us in the country are really focused only at the labor months or the labor time in which we are currently right now. But any which ways, the major most important thing is that we should be interested, we should be involved at whatever point the light hits on us, basically.
But do you think one vote will count? With the way our Nigeria is, do you think just one vote or your vote? Do you think your vote will count?
Well, my if I go with the mindset that my vote may not count, that will become a wrong purview. So it's a bad way to think that your vote will not count because nothing is given to you in life. Whether you want to be successful in business, whether you want to venture into anything, Nigeria has become a battleground where everything is fought for. Nothing is given to you on a platter. You must fight for what you should have. So also, I think that's the best and wise mindset to carry it over. That you know, your vote is also important in the sense whereby the politicians are looking to buy your vote. So if it is not important, they wouldn't buy Gary, buy salt, buy yams, and buy some rice and share so that you can vote for them so they know your votes count in some sense. Will there be rigging? Of course. That is where the fighting comes in. That is where the intentionality, the desire to say fight for, let your vote count.
Yeah.
You know, if you are put in positions where you are supposed to uphold votes instead of take bribes, you know, when you see the insecurity in the country, if you keep, you know, going against your conscience and going against the right thing to do because you want to fill your belly because you are selfish, then the wrongs of Nigeria will happen to you. Nigeria will catch up with you. That's just the best way. But your vote will definitely count if you fight for your vote. And it is better to try than not even try at all,
So, yeah.
basically.
So try Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
Your vote, one vote counts.
One vote counting good.
Let me digress a bit here.
Okay.
Um, these children that they kidnapped
Mm-hmm.
at Oyo State,
Yeah.
I don't know how to be precise.
Yeah.
Now, in the forthcoming election, we
Yeah.
pray that they release those children in
Before
good
the
health
forthcoming, in fact,
before
let
the
them receive.
forthcoming election. Now, when those children are being released and their parents see the pain in those children's eyes, see the way their children are scattered, the way their health is deteriorating because of the exposure and the experience to the torture they endured in that place. Do you think those parents will vote or their relatives will vote?
Hmm. Well, they wouldn't want that same situation. So I can't tell what is going on in their minds or what they would want to do, their next course of action. But I can only advise. I can only advise in the sense whereby they saw what when the children gets released eventually, which we pray that they do release and God bless the souls of those who have departed and the parents and the people who are related understands what terrible government is going to cause when you leave your vote to someone who gave you some bag of rice, or you leave it to the lack of interest, because a lot of us are not interested. So that lack of interest, which is called voters apathy, is what has brought that government in place, what has cost them their life, because when we are in a situation where if we are in a situation where the lives are valued, I think we are not supposed to be sleeping. The news back to back will be of constant search. Nigeria wasn't supposed to move on, isn't supposed to move on. You know, we're not supposed to move on and expect miracle to happen.
So,
It's a back to back. The military is not sleeping. There ain't gonna be any military in the Aso Rock. There ain't going to be any. Everybody hands on deck. We are looking for those children next to the other resources are poured because that lives are valued. So we, when they know this, now they could this information. When they find this information, they now know that it is their responsibility to go out and vote for the purpose of putting someone and defend their vote also for the purpose of putting someone who has conscience and someone who has conscience and who value the lives um, of their children, because any indecisions, there are consequences for both decision making and indecision. Both of them. In fact, the consequences of an indecision, meaning someone who doesn't decide, the consequences is more grievous than deciding. So which would you prefer? It's better you decide than not to decide, basically. Yeah.
um, it's well because anytime I remember those children, I used to just imagine and be like, God, it's well.
So sad how we are really living in we are really living in the wrong settings right now. How do I even put it? We're living in a dysfunctional society right
Everybody
now.
is just moving on with their
It's
lives,
not
and
supposed to
the
happen.
parents are just grieving because they can't even do anything for their children.
Mm.
It's so sad, but it's well,
It's
it's
even
well.
scary when the news come out like one of the children possibly died.
Yeah, I saw
You
that.
see, and these people are going to go the ultimate. They do not have a limit of what destruction, because since they are actually working for a purpose which they depict or perceive to be divine. Um, so they are working for a purpose. So the intention is never going to, the brutality is going to be there. So the worst has never been even, cannot be fathomed. So it means that they've not even done their worst yet.
Yet.
So it's just crazy what these people can do. And the only better way for me that I know is total elimination. Yes, from the from the sponsor straight up to them, everybody eliminates as much as we can. And when we face brutality for brutality, we have no choice than to succumb. When you are at war and your enemy does not see that you have equal capacity to fight them, they rule over you, they destroy you, they come against you. They only talk about treaty, they only talk about repentance, or they only surrender if they understand, number one, that you have equal proportionate
Yeah.
amount of force, and then you are also as brutal as they are, so that they are not met with fire to fire. Then they will now decide to talk about treaty, and when they are the fire is overwhelming, they will now talk about surrendering. So that's what's happening. But in a situation where the government today is negotiating with bandits
Right.
and negotiating with terrorists and what have you, they end up empowering them to do more because this negotiation don't literally work. So for the purpose of their intention, there's no place in the world where terrorists are being negotiated with,
That's all.
because you can negotiate with the criminal because he has a motive. The reason why a criminal goes to steal could be as a result of to make the money.
Money.
You know, the money is also his intention. When he's recognized and his ego is being scrubbed, you know, he'll want to, stop what he's doing. There's more tendency of that one to quit what they are doing. But when you are talking about terrorists have a singular motive. The singular motive is either depopulate one section and then they populate the other section, and then their other motive is to Islamize the whole country, make sure everyone is Islamic, and so forth. So they would never stop until their goal is achieved, because when someone has a kind of mindset that tells them that they would they are doing some service for God, and it's a divine service that they're doing it that God will bless them and whatever, and it is their life purpose. And when they die here, that kind of, would I say, theology or be stuff going on within them. So their intention is quite strong, and you can never negotiate with them. You can never negotiate with them because they do not have. That's it. But any other question, or let's go ahead. Any other discussion? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. With the way Nigeria is, with the way everything is, do you think that Nigerians will still vote in regards to religion? Maybe the Igbo is voting for an Igbo political participant, or Yoruba is voting for a Yoruba participant, like that. So with the way everything is in scandals, do you think that Nigerians will still vote by tribe or religion?
Unfortunately, tribe is an important part of the existence of Nigerians. Almost many Nigerians are loyal to their tribe.
Yeah.
And when it comes to their culture, it's something that belongs to the heart of the Nigerian first. That is why you see some people, despite the current government and the current poor performance of this government, you still find many people intentionally and passionately defending the government. Not because the government have done well, but because there's that in-depth bias within them that they cannot analyze beyond the way the culture has blended them into. It's like them going against their brother. They understand. So it doesn't matter if the country is going bad or becoming worse, or how many people died. It's just that their brother is there and they have to defend him by all means. Doesn't matter how terrible it is. But there's beauty and there's light to this, is that many people also have been affected by the terrible government that is happening. And then, fortunately, a lot of people would not vote towards that way. And I've seen many people encouraging their people not to vote. So a lot of sensitization still needs to go on in regards sensitizing the people. Then the people on what and how to vote, how to understand the right person to vote for. But yet we are still doing the same job, trying to sensitize you as to who to vote, how to vote, not about your feelings, but who has the best intention for you. The country is going to be only better if we vote people who do not have the intention to steal, who do not have the power, drunkenness within them, who are not narcissistic,
Well, for Nigerians now, I feel they're going to vote based on emotions because of everything that has happened.
So, in what way you feel in regards to the votes in regards to still tribe and
in regards to, not the tribe aspect, in regards to what has happened, they will not want it to repeat itself. So definitely I will vote in respect to
what is happening against.
I don't want this thing to happen, so definitely I'm voting with my emotions.
It still doesn't mean they were irrational about it. What has happened in Nigeria is a rational event, and it's still occurring. What is happening is also a rational event. which follows emotion. Reasons cause passion. You get now. So if they find reasons to it, they would actually be passionate about it, and passion is the expense of emotion. So basically, emotion is what is. If you're not passionate or emotional about who you're voting, you should not vote for yourself. But vote, listen to statistics and vote.
Please
Yeah,
vote,
yeah.
Nigerians. Get your PVC if you haven't gotten your PVC and vote.
So basically, that's it. I think.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you watched this far, that means you are very, very interested in the betterment of this country. And the intention of this podcast is to help every one of us get educated as to what is our responsibility in order to push the country forward. So, therefore, we encourage every one of us to vote and also to go out to choose the right candidate, not based off where they came from, but based off of who they are, and you've actually read or heard about their biography. They're not going to give you. In fact, if you find anyone giving you salt and Gary, that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't vote. If they bring rice to you, that's one of the reasons you shouldn't vote for them. Be wise if you don't want this country to go bad. This country, inflation has jumped up from lots, a lot of things price has gone high. There's
High,
hike in food
very
price.
high.
The things you used to buy 100 naira a few days ago is now over 1,000 to 2,000 naira. So it's not even 10 or 2% of increase, over 150,
100%.
200%, sometimes 1,000% increase. And that's as a result of poor management and poor stewardship of the country. So basically, if you're listening to my voice today, the Power Loop podcast and we are hosts are encouraging every one of us to vote and go out to vote when necessary. And if you haven't had your PVC, endeavor to do
Get
it.
one.
Maiwa, do you have anything for us?
Hmm. Go and get your PVC. And for Power Loop Podcast, you, our viewers, you are very, very important to us. You are very, very important. Without you, we will not be sitting down here. So please, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe so that you can get every notification for every video we are posting. We're also on TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all social media platforms you can think about, so that you can hear trending news of Nigeria, and not just Nigeria, the world as a whole. So stay tuned to Paolo Podcast. See you next time. Bye.